If you think about America at the turn of the century, you think about the farmer that was sitting out somewhere in Kansas City, and he'd come in, and his family would come in every week, and they'd buy what they would need. And, they'd supplement what they had at home. So coffee, tea, sugar, molasses, whatever, and companionship. So you can imagine in the 1800s when this was the one shot at community, all of a sudden railroads came in, and Sears and Roebuck decided to take advantage of that and send out our first catalog. It must have been nothing short of astonishing. At your home, and you don't even have to come to the central location, you now get, as opposed to one kind of tea and one kind of coffee, you get 68 kinds of coffee, no, 68 kinds of tea, 39 kinds of coffee, 14 kinds of cocoa. The choice that you were offered must have simply blown people away, even in the day of the internet. So there was a lot of change, and America is moving toward getting hooked on choice. So if I can jump ahead again, massively, we're now in the 20th century, where a lot of us grew up, not all of us. And it's the world of mass marketing and mass productization and certainly mass media. And America, which now had to depend before on small stores locally based or on the catalog that would come in, they could actually go to something called a supermarket, and everybody could get whatever they wanted, their heart's delight. And mass marketing would encourage you to buy your heart's delight in Tide, right, or something like Tide. And the idea was, with new technology, you could reach the greatest number of people most effectively. And you could do it through the tools of mass media. And the 20th century marked really the heyday of the television, the radio, and any kind of print media. They really gave business and consumers access that they never might have imagined. And it was really a very dazzling thing. So mass media, up until very recently, is what defined our culture, right? It gave us the war in Vietnam, and it gave us all the various elections that we had. It gave us the assassinations of Kennedy and of King. And again, some of you will remember that and some of you won't. But it also gave us our cultural idiom, right? You hear things like couch potatoes. And the 30-second spot, that was an innovation by Procter & Gamble. And you have all sorts of things in the marketing sphere which are also innovations. I don't know how many of you are familiar with marketing, but the 80-20 rule or the 20-80 rule, depending on how you do it. The 20-80 rule basically says you can reach the largest part of the market, the people that create the most profitability, by going to the top 20%. So we had some assumptions that we made, and mass media defined everything. We all shared it, we knew it, we liked it. So we talked about the tools of mass media, and all of a sudden, in the last 10 years, they're really suffering a sea change, aren't they? I mean, the world is looking like a very different place. And mass markets, that common denominator of most enjoyed goods, is also going away. And it's atomizing. And why is it atomizing? It's the power of the internet. It's the power now of people like us to connect directly. Forget the box of coffee or the 60 varieties of tea. You want a particular kind of coffee or tea in Ceylon, in a particular region, at a particular roast, and you're going to get it. So markets, which used to be homogeneous or treated as if they were homogeneous, are exploding in every direction. And what happens is that it comes down to a market of one, me. And I have very specific tastes. Not only do I not like music, jazz is not good enough. I want Nina Simone 1950. And you're living in France, and you happen to have a Nina Simone collection that you want to sell. The internet changes it and makes it possible, right? So markets are being disintermediated. In other words, what was a market where you go to buy something is now going away because I can deal directly with the company. The consumer can talk directly to me. And that means that all the assumptions are changing. And they're changing because we're now all connected. And we have our own access, and we have our own tastes, and we like to express them. And part of the dilemma of social media is that we're all here. We hear the language. We know what like means. We know what friend means. We know what tweet means. And it really isn't what they mean in this new world. But it's confusing because you think you know what they mean. You think you've been here the last 10 years. And all of a sudden, something has changed.